Hello there, everyone. Right now, it's 3:01 on January 13th. Someone asked me recently for advice, good ideas. Oh, someone passed out on the beach. Okay. I had no idea where I was going for a second there. Alright, there we go. Alright, so here we are back in the Animals Crossing. Okay, we got a thing from Katrina. We got these double sofas. The Thinker from Jolly Red, which is one of the things we did need. So that's good. Alright, let's go find some fossils, shall we? So today, we're not doing anything like in Animal Crossing, you know? It's just a standard day. We got some sofas to take care of, praise Helix. Nothing too complicated, but, so Nintendo, with their Nintendo Switch Online, they occasionally give, like, free trials of games, where it's like, oh, hey, for the next, like, week, you can play this game for free. Most of the time, I don't think it's either never been anything that good, or it's just a game I've already owned, so I haven't cared. But today, starting today for the next, basically 7 days, they're giving away Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. So in the next 7 days, you can just play Captain Toad Treasure Tracker on Nintendo Switch. I don't think it's got the DLC, but it's just straight up Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, and I think it's the full game as far as I know. Like, we're going to test it right now, but I'm pretty sure it's just the full game. And then, of course, you have to be a Nintendo Switch Online member. You don't have to have the premium expansion pass thing. The default membership is fine. And I think you can also buy if you like afterwards, if you want to buy the game, I think it comes at like a 30% discount. But Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, I've played it. I own it on Wii U. But yeah, I was like, you know what? Sure, I'll play Captain Toad Treasure Tracker again. And I was like, do I just want to play it or should I stream it? Because I've already played it. But we did play 3D World last year, and Captain Toad Treasure Tracker is the sequel to 3D World. Admittedly, they've scrubbed a lot of the 3D World elements out of the game. Like, the actual, like, there were levels from 3D World that were in Captain Toad Treasure Tracker that just aren't in the game. Instead, they replaced them with, like, Mario Odyssey levels, which is neat in its own way. Does that change my name? Yeah, hey, Jasmine. Good to see you. Yeah, it's a cute name. Little Bean. Did I see something right there? No, I didn't. But yeah, so after we do Animal Crossing today, we're playing Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. And I don't know if we'll beat the game today. We might do it again. We might play like half of it today and then do the other half tomorrow. But yeah, that's the plan for today. Because I thought, why not? I mean, we did 3D World last year. We did 3D World, which was the last game we did before my Switch broke. So I thought, hey, you know what? It just makes sense. Do 3D World. I've never done Odyssey, but Again, I've been watching a lot of speedruns of Odyssey lately. A bunch of speedruns and challenge runs of Mario Odyssey. So I have actually been tempted to play Mario Odyssey again. But yeah. And we do actually have a few things to talk about today as well while we're here in the Animals Crossing. Like, there was a new Pokemon trailer today. So I said I was kind of done watching Pokemon trailers, but they released like an overview trailer in Japan like a week ago now. Maybe not, probably even less than a week. And I was always waiting for that overview trailer to come out in English, because it was Japanese only. And we got an overview trailer, I think, today or maybe last night. It's a different trailer. I think it's a different trailer than the Japanese one. Because the Japanese one was like 8 minutes, whereas this one in English is like 13. But I watched the new trailer for Pokemon Legends Arceus. That's kind of like an overview trailer. That, you know, it mostly talks about like, hey, you go out, you catch Pokemon, you do this, you do that. It's a very simple trailer. But you know, I'm excited for Legends Arceus. You know, I think every gameplay video we see of it always says like gameplay not final or graphics not final or whatever. And I like if you look at the original reveal trailer for Legends Arceus in this new one, it looks so much better. Like I've never had I didn't have problems with the original game's graphics, but you can totally see the improvements. The game definitely looks better. I know some people will never be satisfied because Pokemon fans are gluttons that would not be satisfied with all the riches of heaven. But even still, I think it looks good. It is not open world like people wanted. It seems like the world is like broken up into like regions. So like the region we see in this video is like the Obsidian Fields. So it's like, oh, here we are in the Obsidian Fields, and you go around, you catch Pokemon, you complete missions that require you to like catch a certain Pokemon or record data on certain Pokemon or gather certain items. And it's like, oh, that's interesting. There's a whole crafting element. You craft Pokeballs with Apricorns again, because that's back. And we see like a boss fight where because one of the things I love about this that I think is a great I wish so the game has turn-based combat. And part of me was really hoping that we'd have an active time combat system in this game. That they would take the full jump and do active time combat. Because, you know, a lot of other RPGs have switched over to active time combat. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Ah, it's good to see Rossetti again. But yeah, a lot of RPGs have switched over to active time combat. And I would have liked Pokemon to try it. And I'm sure one day they will. This is like them taking a half step. Because something I love in this game, or that I love that you can do this now, that they've done this, is that Pokemon can just straight up attack you. The Pokemon will, like, just straight up attack you, and they can, like, knock you out. So, like, you could be your Pokemon could be fighting theirs, and they could just, like, attack you and win the battle instead. There's 2 lose conditions now. And I love that. I think that's a neat idea that totally adds to both the sense of, like, how dangerous the region is, but it makes combat more interesting as well. I'm totally down for Pokemon being able to murk you. And we see we see the boss fight against, like, the noble Pokemon Cleaver, where you're, like, chucking bombs at it to try to, like, lower its health. And then you battle it, and that stuns it for a little bit. It seems more... Again, this seems to be a half step between real-time and active time combat. And I like that. I think that's more interesting. The familiar statue. So this is the one we picked up yesterday. This should be real. As far as I know... Oops, not Assess Fossils. As far as I know, there is no fake variant of this one. Alright. So let's head back up. I think... So just taking a real quick look at our paintings and our statues, I think we're only missing 5 pieces. If I'm correct, we are missing 5 statues / artworks / whatever. See, I told you the Thinker looked green. Because when we bought it yesterday, it looked like it normally does. Like a whitish thing. But I was like, I swear in the game it was green. There it is. The Thinker. Oh, it's made of... Is it made of bronze? For some reason, I don't remember it being green. I remember the Thinker being marble like everything else. Rodin. Huh. For some reason, I don't remember it being made of bronze. I don't know. Maybe it always has been, and maybe I'm just misremembering things. So we're missing Nike... the other thing I don't remember. The left and right panel. Oh, Sasha's here. And the Olmec head. That's it. Because we got this one yesterday. We're missing 5 things. Nike. I know we know what the other one is as well. Oh, Lupus. Lupus is that front one. Gosh, we're so close to finishing the museum. Oh my gosh. I know this could still take forever. Like, we still could have, like, easily 100 days in front of us. But at the moment, it seems possible right now. It really does seem like, yeah, we can do this. Okay, let's stop by the house first. Yeah, let's put some stuff away in the house. Grab our sofa. Because I bought 2 extra sofas, but I think those are... I'm going to put those in storage, and we're just going to... Or do I want to... Actually... So I'm thinking... So we either keep the lighter one or the darker one. I'm thinking we're actually going to keep the darker one. Because overall... I know we talked about keeping the lighter one, but the rest of the room has a darker aesthetic to it. Like, the entire... Like, the floor... It matches the floors. It matches... It just matches everything else better. So I think we're going to keep the darker one. We're going to keep the darker ones. A porcelain vase. That. What's this? A vintage stool. Oh, a rat? Oh, look at it. It's, Is it Ryoko? Oh, God, what's his name? This is where not knowing anyone's name comes to bite me in the ass. I do hope we get all the Zodiac figures eventually. Like, I know we're only missing a few, but I do want to get all the Zodiac figures. No, it's not Ryoko, it's not Shinji. Shinji is another show. The Prince. Oh my gosh, I can't remember his name. The Prince. Oh, we also need to... Oh, we gotta... Okay, we gotta run back to the house real quick. Or we could just use our storage deposit. On, Fruit Island. Oh my god. I can't remember his name. I can't remember either of them. Yuki! It's Prince Yuki. Oh my gosh, there we go. There we go. That took me a second. Oh, yeah. Prince Yuki. That's gotta be it. That's gotta be it. I'm not gonna look it up. I'm just gonna pretend like I'm just gonna pretend like I got it right. Prince Yuki. Yeah. That sounds good to me. That sounds like it makes sense. So we have to bring all this iron and this gold to Nico. And we'll go hit him up. Prince Yuki. Yeah, the Prince Yuki fan club. I don't remember the cat's name either. Who's Ryoko? Yuki. Again, Shinji is something else. Is Shinji Evangelion? I've never seen Evangelion, so I wouldn't know. Whatever. Oh, so the other thing, so we got the Pokemon trailer. The other thing, and this happened a few days ago, is we got so Pokemon's been, all throughout the 25th anniversary, they've been releasing these little, like, animated shorts, and I know the 25th anniversary is technically over now, but they've been releasing all these little animated shorts, and, you know, they've all been pretty fun. There's also been, like, the Pokemon evolutions that are more like the anime, but there have been ones that are, like, based on, like, Western cartoons. And we got this new one called, like, Bidoof's Big Stand or something like... It's something along those lines. It's about Bidoof. Now, as I've said many a time before, Bidoof is... Okay, I know for a fact that's fake. So let's go with this one. This one might be real. Probably not, but it might be. But yeah, so Bidoof is, like, of all, like, the starter rat Pokemon... Bidoof is the best one. Better than Rattata, better than Patrat. Lanoon's okay. Is it Lanoon? Cascoon? No, it's not. Lanoon and Cascoon are different things, right? Whatever that thing is, that adorable... That one's pretty adorable, but nah. We're gonna have to go with walnut, because it matches the room better. Even though black's not bad either. I really should have just bought a second piano. But yeah, so we got this Bidoof's Big Stand, which is all about, like, a trainer who catches a Bidoof as, like, an HM slave. To use cut, to use rollout, to use rock smash, stuff like that. And then they get to, like, the champions battle, and now all their other Pokemon have been defeated, so they just have Bidoof left. And Bidoof has to beat their last Pokemon. And I was like, that's adorable. Because I love me some Bidoof, and I like Barbarrel as well. Right? Best rat Pokemon. So, like, Bidoof's Big Stand. I'd been meaning to watch it the past few days, and I finally got around to watching it after I watched the new Pokemon trailer. Yeah, no, it's really cute. And the animation is really... It's simple, but it's really good. It's got a fluidity to it that I really like. It reminds me of the Hotel Transylvania movies. I know some people really don't like those movies. Those movies are great. Though the Hotel Transylvania movies are the best Adam Sandler movies, besides for, like, Uncut Gems. Like, that's it. Like, Adam Sandler has made, like, two or three good movies in the past, like, 20 years. And they are Hotel Transylvania and Uncut Gems, and that's it. Specifically the first two. The third one, and I know there's a fourth one coming out, like, next week. Or maybe it already even came out. I don't know. But no, it reminds me of that, and those have really good, really fluid animation to them. And this Pokemon one kind of reminds me of that. It's really nice, it's really fluid. And yeah, I think it's just really cute, because, you know, I feel for it makes me feel for the HM slave Bidoof. So I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed this little animated short. It's like 8 minutes, but it's cute, and it's on YouTube, so yeah, go watch that. Alright, Nico, what do we got for today? Who's on our island? This dog. This bear. Hey, Upsurge, how you doing? Good to see you. This rabbit. Oh, it's Lone, or Ion, or however you pronounce their name. I'm still not entirely sure. You know, we can make a house today. It's not like we're doing anything else. We can make a house. Oh, and there, look at them. Oh, I love them. Yeah, we can make... I mean, they were almost on our island, so yeah, we can take time to make them a house. We already have that one. So how is the name pronounced? Is it an I or an L? Is the name Lone? Or is it with an I? Because it looks like it's an I. Because it's a capital I, right? I think, unless it's the one amiibo card that's not capitalized the first letter. I've always called them like Ion or something like that. Because again, it looks like I think it's a capital I. And I don't know how to pronounce it otherwise. Alright, so there's the last DIY for Nico. We had to give up 30 iron nuggets. That's a lot. But, you know, it's a small price to pay. What's their name in other countries? I could probably get that right. Let's see, they also go by Terra. I can work with Terra. Terra. Yeah, I can work with that. Oh, that's an interesting name. Well, who's the character? There's a character, I think it's a Fire Emblem character, who I never call by their right name. I always call them by, like, the name they use in their Japanese name, and not their English name, because they changed it, and I always liked their original name better. Oh, I don't remember who it is, though. Something like this. You wanted a Diva's Dwelling. Okay, I can work with that. Yeah, I can work with that. A Diva's Dwelling. I want to put you in the snow. Not on an iceberg, though. Diva's Dwelling. I guess I'll put him here. Sure. Yeah, one level home. Yeah, okay. So, what else? So, I had Pokemon on my list to talk about. Let's go and work on this house. What other? I had two other stories I know I wanted to talk about. Let's see. Where's my list of stories? Oh, okay. So I remember this. So we'll figure out what to do with this house. But so I was watching so I'd been watching FNAF Security Breach. I've been watching Let's Plays of it for a while now. And I finally finished. Right, I finally finished a Let's Play, like a full Markiplier's full series. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Honestly, I enjoyed it. I think that was interesting. Ooh, I like that. Cloudy floor, starry sky, yeah. But yeah, I finally finished it. And, I think the game is interesting, to say the least. Like, I think it's an interesting game. It's definitely got some problems. Some stupid things, something... Maybe we'll go scatter those outside. It's definitely got some problems, that's for sure. But I'd be lying if I said I didn't have fun, you know? It's like, specifically because Markiplier's playing it, that's probably some of the reason. But also, I just think it's kind of interesting, you know? Like, it's a very interesting game. And there are some things that where I'm like, oh, I really like this. Like, everything that has to do with the, I'm just gonna fill it with Zodiac stuff. Yeah, everything that has to do with, the animatronics, like Fox, the Roxanne, the other two, whose names I don't care enough about to remember. I think all that stuff is very interesting. I especially love the characterization of Roxanne Wolf. Giving her, like, these big self-esteem issues, and then once you, take out her eyes, all she does is, like, cry. That was... Oh my gosh. I loved everything that had to do with that. I thought was so good. And I was, like, so invested in it the entire time. So that worked really well. That was some good, well done stuff right there. I was rather impressed, to say the least. Like, wholeheartedly, I was like, all that. Chica being the glutton was interesting. The cocky Montgomery Gator. All really interesting character choices. No, I don't like that. I liked... So all that, I think, was really well done. Ooh. So I enjoyed that. What else? The actual story itself, I'm very split on like whether or not it actually like makes any sense. Like all the Vanny stuff is so weird, and I'm not entirely like especially because one of the endings is like you find out there's like two Vannies because one Freddy kills, but then there's still one on the roof at the end, and I'm like, does this actually make any sense? I kind of don't think it does. Okay, wait, which version do we have? Because I could just... Oops. So yeah, that part of the game I was like, this is kind of weird and this is kind of confusing. And it doesn't all make I mean, I know eventually people will pick apart the lore enough and it will come to make sense. But at the moment, I'm like, I'm not entirely sure what it's trying to go for based on that. And in the endings, like when you actually get to the endings, and it's like, oh, instead of like being animated endings, they're mostly just cuts, like comic book cutscene style things. And it's like, that's way less interesting. I was kind of disappointed at that at first. But, there are, I think the alternate endings are interesting. I think the best one is the one with, where you escape in the car, where you steal the van, and then Freddy breaks down, but then you fix him up, and it's like, hey, all's well that ends well. I think that's the best ending. But no, of course, the canon one is that, hey, guess what? Even though we've burned down William Afton like 3 times at this point, he never dies, and the Molten Freddy, nope, not dead either. It's just kind of weird. So we're gonna head back outside real quick. So yeah, that was weird, but I overall, part of me, I kind of think I should have played it. Like, honestly, thinking about it, I probably should have actually played this game. Because I do think it's interesting. I think it's an interesting game. Again, I have complicated feelings on FNAF itself. And especially, I have complicated feeling. I like FNAF, right? It's my Harry Potter, as the term I've been using. I have complicated feelings on Scott Cawthon. And yeah, none of that's going to change. But I just think the game was interesting. It's clearly like a very buggy and broken game. And that mechanic at the end, where like once you beat the game, you can no longer save. And you have to, what's it called? So, like, after you beat the game, you can no longer save. And you have to, oh, you have to, oh, yeah, so you can, after you beat the game, you can no longer save. So you then afterwards have to, like, do the final boss fight or whatever. So, right, it was for him it was, Monty. You have to do that. Oh, and look, we got Starlight's in, we got Aurora Borealis. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. I wouldn't have it any other way. I wish this gave us the moon bed. That would have been a nice get. But whatever. But yeah, I think that whole like system of like, oh, once you get to 6 a.m., so you defeated Roxy and you have a choice between Monty or Chica, but once you've done that, it's then all you have left to do. I'm trying to think if I want a ceiling light. Yeah, after that, it's kind of weird, you know? Like, oh, you now have to beat the game without saving. I just think that's kind of a bad game mechanic. Like, that's, like, having to beat the... Like, I know it's supposed to make the game harder, right? It's supposed to add in some challenge to the ending. but I really think it actually makes the game worse. Just from watching people play it. It really does seem to make the game worse. Let's go with silver. Silver matches their own best. Yeah, I do think it makes the game worse. And that sucks. Because, yeah, having to restart... Like, if I were playing it, I would have been so annoyed. I know there is, like, a glitch where you can, like, collect an item again. And when you collect that item, it sets the clock back to 5:15. So you can just play the rest of the game with saving. Still, the actual, like, intended way to do it is just bad game design, in my opinion. Like, there's some things in that game that make, like, no sense. Like, when you get the Phaser Blaster, you have to then return it to get a different one? That's stupid. Like, that's, like, and the game doesn't, like, properly explain that. Like, the game should say, hey, return the Phaser Blaster to get, like, the upgraded one or something. Like, it should, like, straight up tell you that, but it doesn't. Instead, it's just like, hey, go to the prize counter or whatever. And it's poorly conceived, in my opinion. It really is. And there's a bunch of moments like that. The game's buggy. I guess if you do, like, a certain route, like, if you do something, it'll, like, glitch the game and you can't proceed past a certain point. So there basically is a game-breaking bug in the game. Which, that does suck. Game-breaking bugs are terrible. So that really does straight up suck. But... Ooh, can I... No, I can't. Oh, I would have covered the bed in fog. That would have been interesting. Oops. I should have done that beforehand. Whatever. I didn't even think about it. But yeah, so that sucks. The game seems to be buggy. But, I mean, it's a modern video game. Like, I guarantee you the new when Pokemon comes out in 2 weeks, it's going to be broken as hell. I can almost guarantee it. But I enjoyed watching the playthrough. I'm curious to see, of course, where this all ends up, where the lore goes. There are, like, the Vanny tapes that I think are interesting, and they will probably go places, right? Like, those will probably do something interesting, or they mean certain things. Like, her talking to the therapist, and every time the therapist starts asking questions about her being manipulated, the therapist seems to die. That's interesting. But we'll just see where that goes eventually. I'm sure, again, MatPat's working on a video. I'm sure Dako already has something up. But it's interesting nevertheless. Part of me is like, maybe I should have played it. But I know I would have just gotten so annoyed with that saving mechanic. Because it basically introduces permadeath at the end of the game. Right? Like, you're more than halfway through, and now all of a sudden permadeath is a mechanic. I would have been so annoyed. I can just tell you that straight up. I would have been so annoyed with permadeath mechanics. Because permadeath mechanics are... Like, that's one of my least favorite things in games. Permadeath. So I would have probably been so pissed off if I had to deal with permadeath. But I think the game is interesting other than that. Like, I think it seems buggy, and it seems to got some flaws. Again, that save, having like a bug in there that just allows you to save after beating it, that's good. But other than that, I don't know. I watched a bunch of videos. I've been watching his videos on it, and I knew I wanted to finish it, and it took me a while. The final boss fight against William Afton is really underwhelming and really anticlimactic. Because you literally just stand there, ward off all 3 animatronics, get attacked by tentacles, and then that's it, the game's over. You press a button a few times, like, you don't even ever actually fight William Afton. You just, like, light him on fire a few times, and then he gets, killed by, it's basically like the Blob. It's like some sort of, like, Molten Freddy that's made up of all the other previous animatronics. It's really weird. Like, seriously, like, where the Blob, like, what the Blob is significant of, because it's, like, got Molten Freddy's face, or at least, like, part of it. Because that's what Molten Freddy was, not Glam Rock Freddy, the Circus Baby Freddy. But now, and so it's got, like, elements of that, but it's also got, like, parts of Chica, parts of Bonnie. I think there's a part of Baby in there as well. It's really weird, and it kind of, again, they really didn't need to bring back William Afton. I mean, at least they didn't do the giant robot William Afton made out of trash that Matt Pat talked about in one of his videos. Like, it could have been worse, totally. But it was interesting. It was interesting to watch through all of that and finally finish that game. I finished all of Matt Pat's videos as well. Those were interesting in and of themselves. So yeah, I guess I'm kind of done with FNAF for the moment, because I've now completed everything outside of reading the books. And do I want to read the books? Ugh, I don't know. Again, I read the first Silver Eyes book back in the day when it came out. You know I did. God, that was so long ago now. But yeah, do I want to read a bunch of Five Nights at Freddy's? I don't want to read the Fright ones, because those just get weird and yeah. Oh, but you know what I will say? I saw a TikTok last night of this guy at a Chuck E. Cheese and talking, like, all the lights are, nobody's there, all the lights are on, and the animatronic band is running. So, right, the Chuck E. Cheese stage band is running. And, like, he's pointing at the camera at the band, and the Chucky animatronic, like, looks straight into the camera. Clear, it's, like, not like it's actually, like, looking at, you know, it's just part of its, like, subroutine. It, like, changes the direction it's facing, but it looks like it's looking at the camera. And it made my heart, like, skip a beat. So, clearly, even though I've played a lot of Five Nights at Freddy's, my fear of real-life Chuck E. Cheese animatronics hasn't gone away. Because, like, in that moment, I basically jumped. So, yeah, my fear of the actual animatronics, nope, that hasn't changed. I'm still horrified by the real Chuck E. Cheese animatronics. The Uncanny Valley still totally exists for me. It's just, you know, I've gotten used to the FNAF animatronics. You know, we've been doing this so long, and I feel like the animatronics, as they look cleaner, they've gotten less and less scary, and technically that's kind of been true since the second game, when they introduced the toys, but still, I don't know. And yes, they do, like, actually sitting down to play them, it's horrifying, except for security, but as FNAF has become more popular with children, which it was all, anything that becomes popular on the internet is popular with children. That's just kind of how it works. The games have become less scary. Like, I think in the original game, Vanny was intended to, like, run at you with a knife. But, you know, because kids play the game, they just took out the knife. And instead it just, like, makes scary gestures. Which, again, minimalism is very important. You can do a lot with very little. But it is... I can see where people have problems, you know? Oh yeah, that Peacemaker premiered on HBO today. I don't know. Do I actually want to watch that? I don't know, I'll think about it. I don't know, there's just always so much to watch. Oh, 2D and Top D got an update. Okay, that's good. So 2D and Top D was on my honorable mentions for Game of the Year. Like, I liked it, but the game was just so fucking hard. Like, some of the puzzles really started to, like... They ramp up in difficulty, and it really started to, like... it got harder as the game went on, and it looks like they just released an update that maybe addresses some of that. It seems like they added checkpoints in the boss fights, which the boss fights were, like, the hardest thing in that game, so that's good. That's actually really good. But yeah, no, 2D and Top D, a game that I enjoyed, and again, maybe when I play it now again, maybe I'll put it on the Game of the Year list this year. Maybe, I don't know. It almost made it on the list. I just I just didn't play as much of it as I wanted to. Oh, look, a TV cart. We're gonna watch Bill Nye the Science Guy. Come on, everybody, gather around. We're watching Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill. That's actually a great stupid video. Oh, it's a karaoke system. Still reminds me of like a TV that like you have at like your school, like high school, or probably younger than that. But yeah, I know people hate like there Republicans specifically hate Bill Nye the Science Guy because you know Republicans hate science and they think he's become an SJW liberal, whatever. He's still just Bill Nye the Science Guy. Like, it hasn't changed, honestly. He's kind of, I don't know. It was a classic. As a kid, there's that great video where it's like when you're working on a packet and the class next door is listening to Bill Nye the Science Guy. That's a great video. Bill Nye the Science Guy. Alright. So I think that's literally all we have to do today. I mean, I didn't expect to work on an apartment. I just kind of, we have to check turnip prices. Okay, because whenever we get a price high enough, we're just going to sell. But yeah, admittedly, I didn't expect to work on an apartment today, but you know, I'm always down. Just if inspiration strikes, and doing one for Terra is not bad. We're gonna sell turnips. 130 is a good enough. It's probably the best we're gonna get. So I guess we're not done with Animal Crossing yet. I guess we're still here. Let's go put some stuff away in the house. Did I accidentally sell my piano? No, I didn't. For a second, I was like, did I just accidentally sell my piano? Because I have done that before, right? You have just items in your inventory, and you just sell it all to clear it out. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's put up our piano. Yeah, that matches the color of everything else in the house. Again, it's not a perfect room by any means, but it's our living room, and I will take it. You know, we have to work somewheres, we have to begin somewheres. This is fine. I wonder what the new wallpaper we got looks like. Let's check this first. Oh, okay. Okay, that's simple. Alright, let's drop everything off. Because we're basically starting with blank inventories, and we're working up from there. To make as much money as possible. Because, yeah, we're not going to get... I mean, there is the possibility we could get, like, a price of 140. But I kind of personally doubt it. So we're just going to sell at 140. That's not a terrible price. We just got a lot of turnips to clean up. So I guess the other thing I could talk about. So a few days ago, I mentioned how I was finally gonna get into the musical 6, right? I find like one of the songs came up during my me just working on stuff and working on stuff for college, listening to music, and I'd heard like some of it before, like specifically what I consider the big song, All You Want to Do. I know I've heard that before, but I never, really listened to it, and we'll talk about it. But I was like, you know what? I'll listen to the musical Six. It's been on my periphery for a while now. It and I think it's the Mad Ones. Those are kind of the two that have been on my periphery. But the Mad One seems way more depressing. And I know Six is about multiple people die in it, but still. So I was like, you know, I'm gonna listen to Six. Hopefully it'll be great. I was surprised to find out, just looking at, because you can listen to it all on YouTube, right? The soundtrack. I was surprised to find out it's only like 45 minutes of music. Like, it's not nearly as like I compare it to something like Hamilton, that's like over, you know, like 2 hours. I think Hamilton's like close to 3 hours long. Nah, Six is like 45 minutes of music. Now, I will say, I just listened to the music, so I don't know any of... I know the story has something to do with, like, the Six Wives forming, like, the Six Wives of Henry VIII forming a girl group, but they can't decide which one of them is going to be the leader, so they all tell their tragic backstories to decide which one has the worst backstory, and whoever has the worst backstory will be the leader. That's the basic story to my understanding. But that's all I know. I don't know anything more than that, basically. I don't know, like, all the details. I don't know, like, what the actual arguments consist of or anything. I just have the music, what the songs present. And when it comes to what the songs present... yeah, no, they're good. So Hamilton came out in 2015. And I have to be honest, as I'm listening to this, I'm like, this is Hamilton. Like, of course, it's doing things different, like the musical stylings is different and all that. Sometimes there's like moments where I'm like, no, this is just like straight up Hamilton. Like the opening song, Ex-Wives. It's basically just like Hamilton opens going through the entire story of Hamilton, right? And it gives away the ending. That's exactly how this... I mean, we all know the ending of Six, right? The Six Wives of Henry VIII. There's even, like, a little, like, rhyme to it. What is it? Divorced, beheaded, dead. Divorced, beheaded, survived, or something like that. Okay, I guess that doesn't really rhyme. But, you know, that's a thing I had heard before. But the opening number, they're doing the same thing, basically. They're telling us what's going to happen in the story. And how, hey, it's more complicated than that. Because, okay, so I feel like saying this musical is like Hamilton, in my mind, that feels like, oh, I'm insulting it. Which it shouldn't be. Because Hamilton's a great musical. And, yeah, Hamilton is a great musical. And I think this one's pretty good as well. But, I don't know, there's just something about it that feels like I'm in, like... through the art of comparison, I'm, like, insulting it. Kind of like, you know, there's that thing where, like, people got really mad at saying, like, oh, hey, that new Spider-Man game, it makes you feel like Spider-Man. And people got really pissed off at that. Even though that's a perfectly normal statement. Saying, hey, the Spider-Man video game makes you feel like you're Spider-Man. It should not be a problematic statement. But people get really pissed off when you say it, even though it's totally true. And I think, now, admittedly, that's all because of Dunkey, and Dunkey was complaining about, like, a lack of originality in games journalism or whatever. That, oh, games journalists aren't original, right? They just keep saying the same thing over and over again. That the game makes you feel like Spider-Man. And that's what he was complaining about. But it's again, I don't think that's a bad statement. It's doing something. And I don't know, there's just something where it's like, oh, comparing this musical that's looking back at history and, like, thoroughly putting it through the lens of analysis is, like, comparing two, like, again, they're doing different topics, but they have similar core premises. Admittedly, Hamilton was all about legacy. Even though they have opposite messages. Hamilton is all about legacy and how you don't get to decide your legacy, right? Who lives, who dies, who tells your story. Somebody else does. Whereas this is kind of doing the opposite. That even though their stories have been told and, right, somebody else has written their story, it doesn't matter, they're going to tell their own, right? They're going to change the narrative. And, right, they're going to be known for more than just being the 6 wives of King Henry VIII. So, like, they're doing opposite things. But I think that just invites more comparison, honestly. But yeah, and they do feel reactionary to one another. On it, because you can, like, Hamilton came out in 2015, this is 2018. They definitely, at least in my point of view, feel reactionary. There are some things that I think this does better than Hamilton, though. Like, one of the things that annoys me about Hamilton is that it's a musical that's taking place, like, during the time. But everyone is, like, Hamilton is clearly worried about his legacy, right? What happens after he dies, who lives, who dies, who tells your story, all that. And that's, like, that's the main theme of it. But every once in a while, Hamilton as a musical gets, like, self-referential, that it is history. That it, like, the musical itself knows that it's a musical. And it, like, it is history. Specifically, and the part that irks me specifically is Burn. Burn, I think, is a good song, but every once in a while, it will refer to itself as basically a song. And that it is history, and that they're removing themselves from history. And I don't like that. It's just a little too self-referential for me. I feel like that, like, lessens it. This, on the other hand, this takes place after everything has happened, and they're all, like, basically in the afterlife creating their girls group. So it does when it does that. So when it does those moments where it's like, oh well, hey, let's look back at what happened. It gets away with it because it's all over. Like, the events have already happened, and they're in, like, the afterlife or whatever. And there's a bit of historical, like, oh, we're gonna change history, we're gonna rewrite it, we're gonna tell our own story, and I like that. I think that works as well. That reminds me of something else, but I can't remember the details. But no, I think it does, because it's outside of the narrative of their stories, it can be more self-referential. It can do that, and it's less of, like, an actual problem. But yeah, so the actual music itself, I think the songs are good. There are some I care for less than others, and there are some I'm like, oh wow, I surprisingly really like that. Like there were songs like No Way and Heart of Stone that I just didn't really care for. Like, I know what they're going for, right? Because basically, there's only 9 songs. And of them, basically, each of the wives gets a song. There's an introductory song, and there's an ending song. The only exception is, Anne of Cleves gets 2 songs. That's basically it. That's, like, the one exception. Other than that, everyone gets 1 song, and then there's the intro and the ending. But yeah, so there are some, like, I don't know, Heart of Stone feels like the big emotional piece of the musical, but I don't actually really care for it. And then No Way just kind of, I didn't care for that one either. But the rest of them, all the other remaining, 7, I enjoy. The other remaining 7 songs, I do really enjoy. Don't Lose Your Head was the one that got me into this thing. I think that one's really well done. It does a good job at telling Anne Boleyn's story and all that as you go through from the beginning to the end. I like that one. The musical styling, again, they're going more for, like, I see, this is the problem. I'm not a music critic, so I couldn't tell you anything about what it's actually doing, but it's definitely going for something more like poppy, more punky, and like that's the musical. Like, it's more going for, like, a girls group kind of thing. And I think the stylings are good. I think this is a reference I hate to make, but this is, like, my only point of comparison. There were songs in this that reminded me of the fucking My Little Pony movies. So I have not actually seen that much of the show, My Little Pony. I've seen maybe, like, a dozen episodes throughout the years. Mostly like hey, this is the episode with Weird Al Yankovic, who I love. Oh, this is the episode with Patton Oswalt, who I also love. And Patton Oswalt's My Little Pony joke, the first time I heard it, I was in tears laughing so hard. Like, if I was ever going to get into the show, it was because of him. Alright, but as a film critic, I have seen all, I think there were like 4 movies. There were 5 movies. God, there were 5. And one of the movies is all about them starting a rock band. And, okay, the music in that's really good, by the way. Like, I'm genuinely surprised that the My Little Pony movies got better and better as time went on. Okay, the 4th one where they're, like, human people, that one was not great. But the first one where they're human people and the 4th one where they're human people aren't that great. But the 2nd and 3rd ones get, like, better and better, which surprised me. But yeah, in the 2nd one, and kind of the 3rd one, they have, like, a band, and they're playing music and whatnot. And some of the songs in this kind of remind me of that. That's, like, my only real point of comparison. Especially the final song. The final song, 6, there's a song in I think the 3rd movie that is just like, yeah, it's basically the exact same song. But that's not a complaint. Like, I legitimately, because again, I think those movies are decent and like they got better as time went on. And I like the beat, I like the rhythm, because the final song, you know, again, I'm kind of all over the place at the moment. The final song is all about how they're changing their history. It's basically like an alternate history where instead of marrying King Henry VIII, they all go on to live their best lives. Right? And they all they all do music. That's basically how it ends. Because, you know, they all realize they're girl bosses and they can do what they want. And I actually really like that ending. I like the ending musical number. I think it's really good. And I've listened to it like it's probably out of all the songs, it's the one I've listened to the most. But yeah. Let's see, what else? House of Holban. I didn't really care for Heart of Stone. Just wasn't. I don't know. I know what it was trying to be, and I just wasn't into it. House of Holban was. I think I've heard that song on TikTok before, like while scrolling through my For You page. It sounded familiar, but yeah, it's like a party club sort of thing. But it's about her getting her portrait painted. And then Get Down was, like, really good. There's a line where I'm just, like, where I, like, facepalm, where it's, like, get the bitches, and they all, like, woof. I was like, oh my gosh. But other than that, like, I don't think that's actually, like, a problem. Other than that, I was like, yeah, no, this one's actually really good. I actually really enjoy this one. With, yeah, Anne of Cleves. All You Want to Do is the big song from this. Like, that, if you told me, yeah, this is the big song, because it's all about, it's one of the Catherines, right? I don't remember the last name. And her, like, experience with men, and, like, the first guy I'm gonna say dated, for lack of a worse word. The first guy she hooked up with was terrible. And she was 13 at the time. She got abused. And then you go through the next, like, 3 guys she was with, and they're all terrible. And it ends with her losing her head. And it's like, oh shit. Like, I know I've heard this song before, but within the context of, like, listening to the other songs. Again, I don't have the context of the full musical. Because someone once said, specifically I think they were talking about Wicked, that, like, some songs are better or worse without context. And I think they were talking about Wicked. How, like, Wicked, just listening to the songs on their own, they're whatever. But if you listen to them in context, then they're good. And, like, I know I'm missing context here. I most certainly am. But that doesn't change the fact that, no, like, actually listening to the whole musical, again, as short as it may be, I'm like, okay, I can now appreciate this song a lot more. This is a really good song. Because of its subject matter, it's kind of, you know, it's kind of hard to listen to. But it's got, like, a real, like, beat. Like, it sounds like it's upbeat. But it gets to some dark stuff. And it gets to abuse and whatnot. And I was like, oh, shit. Oh, wow, that didn't break. It's probably the best song in the thing. Like, just looking at it, like, as a whole, yeah, it's probably the best song. Again, I'm not a great judge on these things. And then there's All You Wanna Do, or no, All You Wanna Do. Then there's I Don't Need Your Love, which is the penultimate song, and it really does feel like the finale. Because again, to bring back the Hamilton comparison, there are elements of the song, because she's writing a letter to the other Catherine, writing a letter to the person she loves. But she sends a letter saying we can't be together, and instead she marries Henry. And then, Henry dies, and it just leaves her, and she's the one who survived. And, like, the part about her, like, writing a letter, that reminds me of, in Hamilton, Nonstop. Where, they write Nonstop, Angelica goes to London and marries a guy she doesn't love because she can't be with Hamilton. That's exactly what this reminded me of. There's, like, a part of this that's like, yep. And it, like, even sounds kind of similar. And then after that, after Henry dies, she talks about how she was a writer, how she supported women's education. And it's like, oh, that's the end. That's Who Lives You Die. That's the ending song of Hamilton. I think the ending song is Who Lives, Who Dies, Who Tells Your Story. I think that's the ending song of Hamilton. Gosh, I don't remember. Give me a second. Yeah. Yeah, for a second I was like, is it The World Was Wide Enough now? But yeah, that part, again, it even kind of sounds similar. But that's the moment where it's like, oh, we don't need Henry, we don't need his love, we can be girl bosses without him. And then you get the final song, which is like the alternate reality where, hey, guess what, they all had good lives in the end. And that's where it ends. Again, I enjoy it. It's short. It is. It's only like an hour long. It's less than an hour long. But I enjoyed it. I think it was good. Do I have problems with it? Again, I feel like me saying, oh, it's like Hamilton shouldn't be an insult. It should be a good thing. But there's just something about comparison where I feel, I don't want to say dirty, but it feels off. Like it feels like I shouldn't be comparing them. But I feel like the musical constantly invites me to compare itself. And maybe that's because Lin-Manuel Miranda at the moment is kind of overused. Like, he's kind of in everything, and people are sick of him. Personally, I'm not. I still like Hamilton. I liked Encanto. And I know a lot of people liked Encanto. It's just he's overused. But again, I personally don't have a problem with Lin-Manuel Miranda at all. I really don't. And, yeah, and I actually even saw where someone was talking about, like, oh, what's happening with Lin-Manuel Miranda is that he's intentionally being overused by studio executives because he's representation. And eventually they're trying to make people sick of him. They're trying to make people hate him so that way they can be like, oh, well, we gave you representation and now you're complaining about it? Oh, well, I guess we'll just get rid of him and cast another white guy. Like, they're like, because he's overused, it's like they're intentionally sabotaging him to make us sick of him. Like, there's like, it's very cynical, but I also I can totally believe that they are intentionally overusing Lin-Manuel Miranda as like a stand-in, because like they're using him as like the only representation when there are a ton of other great artists out there just waiting to get their shot, but instead they're overusing him until we're sick of him, and then they're just going to cast somebody new instead, right? And then they'll replace him with a white guy eventually. And it's like, yeah, no, that's probably actually exactly what's happening. Yeah, no, that's a good. I don't remember who said that. It's definitely something I saw on TikTok, but no, it's a completely valid point. Yeah, I got snowflakes from the other two snowboards. But yeah, I still enjoyed 6, and it's because it's so short. Also, I can sit down to work and listen to it, and before I've even normally when you listen to a soundtrack, you'll get lucky if you get like halfway through it before you're finished with it. But because it's so short, I don't even get halfway through. I finish. It's not that I don't get halfway through. It's that I just straight up finish it. And I'll usually start I'll start it again a second time before I'm even done with what I was working on. So that's wild to think about. That, like, I can listen to it twice, and the time it takes, like, it would normally, like, because you can listen to Hamilton, like, 3 times in the time it takes just one listen to this. Okay, maybe not 3, maybe just, like, 2.5, but still. That's wild to think about. Even, like, when I put on video game music, I won't even finish the album. But whatever. So, yeah, that's all we got. Those were the 3 topics I've been saving to talk about. And I guess we talked about all 3 of them. I'll save that for tomorrow because I haven't finished that. Yeah, we'll talk about that tomorrow. Okay. I just gotta write that down. And yeah, so this is our main room for the moment. I think having the extra couch and having the right color piano does make it stand out. It does make it look better. Again, there are still, like, there's blemishes of, like, white over there, and there's gold, but I think it all tracks. That bookshelf could probably be a better color, but I don't feel like I have a better bookshelf to put the fish on at the moment. So I guess we're just going to have to work with it there. And the white rug kind of stands out as well. So does, like, the carpet, but the blue carpet. But I need some sort of contrast to make it more interesting, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that's where we're going to end off with Animal Crossing for the day. But the stream is not over yet. No, we are not done. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, we did more than I expected today. Oh, I don't care about this. Ooh. Looks like I have a voicemail. That's not good. Probably not. So yeah, we're gonna switch. So yeah, that's all for Animal Crossing today. We're gonna switch over. I'm going to need a second here. Give me a minute. Alright. Okay, I'm changing the stream info right now. Oh, come on, please work. Okay, good, it did. Oh, boom, we're just straight up in the game. Wow, that was fast. Give me a second, I'm still changing all the stream info. So Nintendo, I think I kind of mentioned this. Nintendo does a thing where they give away free games. Or not even free games. They give away, like, trials. Where it's like, oh, for a week's time, you can play this game. Like, the one I remember them doing was, Crash Team Racing. They gave away Crash Team Racing. For like, a week, you could play Crash Team Racing as far as I know, it's the whole game. But this week, they're doing Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. I have played Captain Toad Treasure Tracker on the Wii U. I really enjoyed it. But I was like, I'd be willing to play Captain Toad Treasure Tracker again. Yeah, that sounds like fun. It's a good game. It's a good little puzzle game. And it is technically the sequel to Super Mario 3D World. So I was like, yeah, I think it's the sequel to 3D World. It might actually be a prequel. Maybe I'm forgetting specific details. Now, as far as I know, this doesn't have the DLC. Because they did release Treasure Tracker DLC. But, yeah, it's the whole game, and as long as you have Nintendo Switch Online, not even the expansion pass, just the normal game, you can play it. And yeah, as far as I know, it's the whole game. And that sounds good. That sounds like fun. So yeah, and I Let's Played 3D World last year, so it makes sense. Hey, let's do Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. I don't know if we'll do the entire thing today, but we'll definitely start off the game. That's for sure. And like I said, I did own this game on Wii U. I did play this at one point. Oh, there's VR? So, okay, I know 2 players a thing. Of course, it's going to be played with 2 people. You can go a new episode. So that's the DLC. Okay. Now, I do not know if I could just buy the $5 DLC and play that, or if I have to buy the game then the DLC. I have no idea. So there was last year, Walmart did a price error on their website where they gave away Captain Toad Treasure Tracker for $5. Because they were selling the DLC. They were supposed to be selling the DLC, but they were accidentally selling the main game for the price of the DLC. So that was a thing that happened last year. And I tried to do it. Like, I saw the tweet about it, like, from Wario64. Like, a minute after he tweeted it. And I guess even after seeing it, like, a minute later, I just wasn't fast enough. And that sucked. That did suck. So I didn't get it for, like, the $5. I wanted to, and it just didn't happen. And that sucks. Stuff like that does occasionally happen. Oh, I was supposed to fall down here and break that. Okay. But yeah, so even though I wanted Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, and I almost got it for $5, that ended up not happening. I know. You know, y'all, you gotta follow Wario64 on Twitter. You never know when stuff like this is gonna happen. Because, admittedly, while I didn't get that deal, a few months later, or like 6 months, when the new Pokemon game came out, Walmart had another price error giving away both games. I'm not going to worry about 100% completion or anything like that. That doesn't mean anything to me. Walmart had a different price error giving away both Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. So normally a $120 of games for $60. And that price error I did get. Because I was going to buy Pokemon anyways. And hey, guess what now? Oh, oops. And so now I have both of them. Not like I've played Pearl, I've only played Diamond. But you know, it's a nice thing to have, I guess, in theory. So yeah, okay, just follow Wario64. You never know what deals are going to happen. You never know what crazy things might happen. I've gotten some other great stuff for, like, pennies on the dollar before as well. And yeah, most of these levels have, like, a secondary challenge that you can do. Normally, you only find out about them after you beat the level once. Normally, not always. This is like just a cute little puzzle game, and it's a really good cute little puzzle game. You know, I really enjoy this one. It's fun. And yeah, we're just gonna sit here and play through it all. I don't know if we're gonna do it all today. I know the game, if I remember correctly. Oh yeah, just did we? Oh, where did I miss one? Whatever. Again, I'm not going for 100% completion. I have 100%ed this game when it came out on the Wii U. I'm not doing that again. We're just doing casual playthrough. Maybe if I need to 100% it, we will. But at the moment, I don't think we will. Hopefully we won't. Down here with this key. Now, didn't someone, if I remember correctly, there was someone who beat this game without ever, oh, what was it? Without ever, like, turning the camera or something like that. It was actually really impressive. That was forever ago, so I don't remember all the details. But whatever it was really impressive. Do that. And then, there we go. Yeah, it's simple. It's a puzzle game. And hopefully I shouldn't get stuck for like 10 hours. Like if I was playing this like for the first time, I'd probably... Oh gosh, clear the course in 3 touches. That's actually probably pretty easy. Now I'm thinking about it. Yeah, we're just gonna have a ball. Don't got much to do. Just relax, play Captain Toad. And yeah, we'll probably work on this for the next like few days. It is going to be weird to play this without the Wii U gamepad. Because normally, like, you touch things. But I can't do that this time because, you know, I don't have the gamepad. I instead have to use, like, this weird, like, gyro thing to, like, do everything instead. How do I reset? I was going to say, how do I reset? So if I haven't said this, but the whole point of how like this game works is you can't jump. So like Captain Toad is being in and of himself, and he has no jump button. Instead, you just have to walk around. That's like the puzzle element of this. Oh, I can get down there. Okay, there's that done. Goes that like that. I'm curious. So if we head down here and to the left, and with a mushroom. I figured it was going to be something simple like that, but I had to check. See, this is, you know, I was actually thinking of playing Dark Souls this weekend, finally. Like, I know I said I was going to do an indie game, but I was like, you know, maybe I'll just play Dark Souls instead. And now that's clearly not happening. Because instead we're playing Captain Toad! Yay, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Yay! It's a fun game. It is a fun game. I'm saying that to myself as to like reassure me that it is, but I know it is. I've played it before. Chase to Pyro Puff Peaks. Pyro. And again, I don't remember if it's the sequel or the prequel to 3D World. I know it's one of them. But I don't remember which one. Okay, let's oh, we got a timer. Okay, let's move up here. So now we're separated, but we can grab all of these coins and whatnot. Or, you know, whatever we need to grab. Let's go grab that. And that should get us back here. And based on the shy guy. I really took the longest way around. Let's do this first. Look at that little mole. That thing's adorable. Oh, we could have so easily screwed that up, because I think that Shy Guy was moving. You know, the double cherry was so... It's such like a good idea for a mechanic in 3D World. And yet, especially when we replayed it, I just didn't like doing it. Oh, look, we got lots of replays. Nice. I don't remember if you unlock anything for doing all the challenges. I just know they're there. Oh, you can zoom in and out. I have no idea how to zoom in and out. But yeah, it was such like a good idea, but like the challenges with the double cherry when we were replaying 3D World, I was always so annoyed with. Like, they were such pains in the ass. I'm curious how it's going to do this wheel. I bet it just has you, like, rotating the controller. Because the wheel was, again, it was a gamepad thing. And now, the Switch don't have that anymore. So we can ZR... Wait. What was that tutorial? Oh, or just use the R stick. Okay. For a second I was worried there, like, oh my gosh, can we not do this without... It is weird to think, like, oh, I can't do this without motion controls. That, in theory, kind of sucks. Oh god, oh god. I can't remember if the achievement's to do this one without being hit or without taking damage. I know it's one of those things. Oh god, I don't remember which one. So there's got to be a pickaxe somewhere around here. Because I don't think these will break these blocks. Hey, wind. What's up? It's probably, I bet it's without being spotted. But part of me is like, nah, it's gotta be without being... It's gotta be without taking damage. That sounds more interesting. That sounds easier. Which I know is not always what this game's going for. Oh, we killed enough enemies to get a 1-up. Alright, let's find out. What was the achievement here? Not get spotted or not get hit? I bet it's not get spotted. Because that seems harder. Yep, not get spotted. I knew it was something. Hey, guy. I'll take that. That one's... That's our third one. Wow, that was super easy to find. I like the Toad Brigade, and I liked that in 3D World you could play as... Or in, yeah, in the 3D World remake, you could play as them all. Or how in, Bowser's Fury, they all showed up, and even Toadette shows up in that one. And you, like, get to help her out. That was cool. Okay, so this is the one we need to... Ooh. Oh, it's a wanted poster for the bird. Okay, I was like, I know that's something. That's super easy. I wonder if it's, like, completed in, like, a certain number of turns, actually. That would make sense. Again, there's all these mini challenges, and I'm sure they unlock something. Like, if I had to guess, they unlock something, but I couldn't tell you what that is. Collect the gold mushroom. Oh, I have no idea where that is. I think this is a coin level? Yeah, gold galore. Gold coins galore. So we can either do a pickaxe one or a double cherry one. Let's do the pickaxe one. Okay, we got the 50 coins, barely. I think they counted. Have we? Oh, we missed the mushroom? I was like, I thought we did that one. No, we missed the thing. Oh, this is the rail shooter. Yeah, there's rail shooter levels in this as well. It's gonna be motion controlled, I can already tell. Luckily, I can... You see, X allows me to change it. I know it says A to throw turnips. You can also throw turnips with the trigger. That's nice. I think the achievements to kill all the enemies. We missed the first one. Or we missed the first diamond, but I think it's if at the very beginning, if you turn right around, it's right there. Or no. Yeah, I think the achievement there is to kill all the enemies. That sounds right. Yep. Oh gosh, what? There's one level in this game where you can do it, where you can like start off and just, like, immediately glitch it out and win. Oh, gosh. What level is that? I know there is one. can't actually do that. Because we have to... Okay, maybe we do have to just do it like this. Then you have to turn it like that. Blow up those. And you have to turn it like that to blow those. I'm actually just going to do this. It's probably not the best idea, but I'm going to do it. Oh, shoot. Oh, I thought he was closer to it. Oh, come on. Okay, I think like that is actually like the direction I need to go. Flip around the entire level. Is there anything on this bottom side? No. Yep, we got the gold mushroom. I thought it was going to be without damage. That's what I expected. Okay, so we needed 12. We have double that. And we got our first boss fight. The Pyropuff. So we just simply have to hide behind these panels. And it will kill us. Come on, yes. Now I think the lava is starting to rise, so now we have less time. I think we're on a time limit anyways. Oh, did we miss one? There's our star. Again, okay, so in Mario Odyssey, when we get to the Ruined Kingdom, this is more or less what dragons have looked like in Mario. I mean, I know there are other like cartoony examples, But this is what dragons looked like in Mario World. And then this thing happens, and it's like, and then the dragon in Mario Odyssey happened, and it's like, oh, that's a completely different thing. Right, like that's just an actual straight up freaking dragon. What? So that's why like the dragon in Mario Odyssey is such like a big surprise. Because dragons in Mario had looked like this previously. Not like the actual freaking dragon in Mario Odyssey, which is still so cool. Like the fact that that exists is like, what a great idea, Nintendo. You know, there's a good chance we get a Mario Odyssey 2 this year. And I am so excited. Like, will it actually happen? Who knows? But our chances are pretty decent, all things considered. Because, you know, we got more, I mean, it's been a few years. It makes sense. The hunt for the great bird's nest. Oh, Toad. What a little birdie you are. But don't worry, Toadette's gone missing. What is Toad and Toadette's relationship? Who cares? Creeper Cove. Oh, is this the canon one? Yeah, it is. I think it is anyways. They're somewhat similar anyways. Go! Faster! Faster! Yeah, at least Captain Toad can breathe underwater. Is there anything under that boat? Yeah, I guess this isn't the canon one I was thinking of. I know for a fact there is a canon one at some point in this game. So I know we can just go right over there and get to the ending, but maybe that's going on. Oh, sugar sniffies. Oh, I was like, there it is. Oh, it's gotta be up there, I guess? How do I get up there? Oh, maybe I have to walk across that bridge and then that breaks it. This is a way to get down here easily. Oh my gosh. There we go. I was like, I know I'm missing something here. Alright, nice. Nope. I wonder where we missed all those coins. I think this game has remixed levels later on where you're like, where you'll play a level and then later on you'll come back to like a newer version of the same level. I think that's in this game. Oh gosh, I kind of don't remember. It's been so long. But we can come up here. And we gotta use these flight check boards to open up the path. Okay, nothing there, but we can come down here. And we can take this and walk. Yeah, right there. That gets us all free. Oh, because do we have to take a box and float it right here? Oh, look at that. Hidden pipe. Oh, this is the correct option. So I guess you just never need to use that blue pipe? Huh. You know, I would think the red pipe... You know, if anything, looking at this level design, I would assume the red pipe wouldn't be there. That the rest of them make sense, but having the red pipe there, that I would think that would make more sense. Of course we did miss a hidden golden mushroom. Here's the cannon. Okay, I knew there was something like that coming here with the piranha creepers. Because, yeah, the solution's right there. Or the, you know, the end goal is right there. Okay, if I'm correct, we can just hop in this cannon. Blast the piranha creepers, we can collect that diamond. I was waiting for that one up to land, and then it just didn't. I guess I had to stay on the camera longer. Okay, we're missing the first one, which I think is interesting. I think we can also collect all those coins through the cannon, probably. Okay, if that's the third one, and that's the second... Oh, did I not? Oh, I swear I even thought about... Whatever. Whatever, I'm just being dumb. I bet complete that with, like, one shot or something like that. Yep. Yep. I see, I remember enough about this game. Just enough. Yeah, sure, let's go get some more coins. Again, I know they're used for, like, one-ups, but... It doesn't really seem like I do much with them. Oh, I'll take 10. Now let's see. Dog cherries, the fairies, the dinosaurs, and more. Yeah, I did terrible on that one. Dog cherries, there'll be fairies, there'll be dinosaurs, and more. You're gonna say to yourself, wow, I'm so glad I made it, and maybe I will change it. Okay, we gotta get past all these idiots. Boom. Boom. Easy enough. So that should allow us to go down. For a second there, I thought we had to wait for that conveyor belt to get into that position. Wait, actually. I was gonna say, I know I missed something right there. Hey, dummy. Come on, dummy. Actually, I was gonna... Oh! Okay, we can't get that one anymore. Okay. Because what we have to do is we have to go around through the back side. Okay. I don't get what we do with that one. Oh. Huh. Oh, it's right there. I knew I was missing something. But yeah, we have to go through this before we raise the platform. And that allows us to get in there. And that's probably like a golden mushroom, I guess, then. Why this one raises, I have no idea. Like, what this one does makes no sense to me. Like, it's not even to show us there's something down there. Because we can see it off the side. Yeah, it must be a golden mushroom. I swear this one was defeat all the enemies. Because there are a lot of them here. Yep, nope, we gotta go talk to... Even though there's a bunch of enemies, nope, we gotta go talk to Blue Toad. had to guess, this is gonna be... Okay, I got a few more tries. Okay, there we go. I thought we were gonna get hit. For sure. On that last part. Because they barely give you enough room to scrape through that. Didn't defeat a single bitty bud. No. Nope, we did the exact opposite. Isn't this the level that makes defeating a 3D world without turning the camera impossible? I think it's... For some reason, I think it's this one. I don't know, it's been a while. I don't remember all the details. Oh gosh. Because yeah, if you can't turn the camera, you can't see the doors on the backside. And when you can't see the doors on the backside, it just kind of makes this one impossible. Okay, so if I'm gonna guess this one... Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, and we can defeat Booze. Oh, sugar snap peas. Okay, somehow we got that. That made no sense, but whatever. You make it too easy, game. The fact that we have a light, yeah, Boos just aren't a threat anymore. Cleared in 4 touches. Yeah, no, that didn't happen. Again, I've done all of these at one point or another. It's just... Blizzard on the Star Express. Yeah, train level. Train level. Our train level's so cool. I wish America had better train systems. The trains in America fucking suck. And we all know it. And, like, the dream is the America highway system. The America, like... Oh, it's like the America Intercontinental Railroad or something like that. That's the dream. But no. Instead, we gotta put another 13 trillion into the military. Oh, is that in the background? Like, that's not even a... Like, I legitimately think it's way more than that, actually. I said 13 trillion as, like, a joke. I think it's like, so much more than that. It's not even funny. I think we missed one. seems way too obvious that we've come this far without even doing anything. Okay, so we clearly gotta hide in the rooms. Oh, look at the sleepy toad. How do I get to these? What? Oh. Okay, I'm just an idiot. I doubt that matters. Probably does, but I doubt it. Before we actually come up here. Yeah, because we can just tear these. I mean, I'm sure we're supposed to use that thing. Yeah, we totally missed one. I don't know which one it was. Yeah. Oh, I guess we were supposed to use our little delete tool. Oh yeah, here we go. Or maybe we're supposed to take this pickaxe back into the previous room. I bet that's it. We're supposed to get the pickaxe here and then take it out. Where we missed the star thing, I know we missed one in the first half. Like, we went way too long without getting one. But I have no idea where it was. And then our star, we pick it up, but it gets captured by... Oh god, I don't remember. Did they just... Oh... Not Pyropuff. Pyropuff was the dragon. I don't remember what this thing's called. Collect the one up. Oh, did we? Yeah, it was for pulling the train thing. Operation Rescue Toadette. Wingo. It's called Wingo. Was Wingo an enemy in Super Mario Bros. 2, or am I thinking of something else? For some reason, in my memory, Wingo is like an enemy in Super Mario Bros. 2. Because, you know, these games like to reference. Because, like, we're picking up turnips and fighting Shy Guys. Literally like Super Mario Bros. 2. Okay, if I remember, this is a level all about wind physics. Like, the bird will, like, blow wind at us, and that, like, will change the orientation of things. Yeah, like this is the boss back there. And it'll blow us off these higher ledges. Should keep him free. Yep, right there. No, come on! No, no! We just need to get into that cove. Candy Cove. Candy Mountain, Charlie. Oh my gosh, how we survived that. I have no idea. Okay, we have to wait for him to push it. And then he'll push it back in the opposite direction. Or... yeah, we can see that. Toadette, I'm coming! I gotcha! Oh, it took it. Oh no! There we go. There's a hit. Just gotta stay moving. Three hits and we're dead. It's a Mario boss. Come on, I know how this works. I've been doing this for a long time. Oh, thank you, Toadette. He's gonna fake us out. Oh yeah, I knew it was gonna fake us out. It was just too obvious. Oh, Expand Bird. Isn't Wingo in Odyssey actually, or isn't like there like a chef Wingo, or isn't it the same species of bird that's the chef in the Luncheon Kingdom? It's something like that because they look kind of similar. Now that I'm sitting here thinking about it. Yeah, it's like a chef Wingo or something. It's pink, but yeah, it's something like that. I don't actually think I've put that together until just this moment. Not like I've played Captain Toad Treasure Tracker in 5 years. And is this just roll credits? I think this just rolls credits. Yeah! Straight up, that's it. Captain Treasure Tracker takes an hour to beat. No, it's obviously not done yet. We've still got a lot more to go, but yeah, no, for some reason it just straight up it rolls credits. I think this is like a third of the way through the game. Because I know there are a bunch of like remix levels and whatnot. But it's already rolled credits. Give me a second to read this. The end. I was waiting for, like, just a question mark. Oh, we were 4 coins away. I have no idea where we missed coins. But probably at the bottom. I think there were coins at the bottom. Episode 2. Yeah. Now, if I wrote... For some reason... So we got 1 thing. I think you can get 3 per thing. For some reason, if I remember correctly, Episode 2 is, like, way shorter. I don't know. It's been a while, so I don't remember all the details. But if I remember correctly, Episode 2 is, like, way shorter. And then Episode 3 is, like, just as long.
Oh, yeah.
Da-da-da. No, Captain Toad. It's literally the exact same setup, the exact same cutscene and everything. Except this time Captain Toad gets taken. Remember when people wanted Captain Toad for Smash Bros? You know, honestly, it would have worked. Like, it would have worked the same way Bandana Waddle Dee worked. Okay, maybe there are just as many... I swear at some point, like, one of these episodes is, like, way shorter. But I think Captain Toad would have worked in the same way, like a Bandana Waddle Dee would. Like, people are like, oh, it's just a generic enemy. But, you know, these generic enemies have personality. They do things. Why is this here? This has to be here for, like, a purpose. Huh. I have no idea. I see a golden mushroom down there. I know there's gotta be something around. Oh, can I not get back up? I was gonna say something about this seemed too suspicious, but I don't think I can get back up. Shit. Again, I kind of want to restart this one. That was our 3rd one. Okay, there we go. Wow, that's a lot of coins. We did not get a single crystal. Wow. I mean, I know where I missed the one, and I know where I missed the second one. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna jump back into that one again. I have no idea what that bully at the beginning does. Okay, speedrunning time. I have no idea what that guy does. More coins, I guess. Really? Really? Wow, yeah, this level is just filled with coins. Would something be hidden in there? The last one's got to be somewhere on the slide. That's for sure. I see it far off. Boom, there we go. Okay, you know, 2's better than nothing. I'll take 2. Because that was just pitiful the last time. Like, seriously? I mean, we got the gold mushroom. But other than that, no, that sucked.
Here I go.
Oh. Hey, that's where it wants us to go, but this is where we're going to go. Second, I'm reading something. Alright, okay, let's see here. Oh, a key? Oh, I gotta... That's not easy. I come down here, through here, and there we go. That's the worst spot. Okay, if I fall down there, I can climb back up there. I also gotta take this guy. I clearly gotta get up there. And then that comes up, we go down here. Oh shit, oh shit, oh whatever, whatever. Panic, let's grab it. Yep, I knew that was gonna be one of the achievements. Because I saw all the setups to kill all of them.
Here I go.
Oh, hey look, there it is. Oh. I thought something was gonna be hidden. Yeah, so there's one up there. We'll find the others. middle. Okay, I'll take that. And then is there something... Eventually, I think something important's hidden down there. Can't tell you what, but I know how these games work. Eventually, something's going to be down there. Other than, like, coins, you know. Maybe I'm thinking of a level in Bowser's Fury. I know Bowser's Fury has a level like that. Oh my god, 140? I was disappointed we only got 180.
Here I go.
Okay, I remember this one. Oh, I can just hold it. Oh shit, oh shit. Scatter. I have to. I was like, I know something's in there. I bet the achievement's to kill, all of those guys. Oh, and it just straight up keeps, oh yeah, and we can break them. Okay. I mean, I was gonna head back up anyways. I can almost guarantee you the achievement, though, is to get all these guys dead. I know that's it. Okay, we gotta hit that P switch, obviously. God, oh, I can't kill them fast enough. Ugh, because I'm trying to do a part. I know I can just skip all the things now, but I'm trying to do a perfect run. You know, where I get everything done in a single run. I wonder if it'd be easier if I just killed one of them. It's down there. Oh, come on. Okay, there we go. And now I can go back up there and find the path, the right path. And there we go. That should have gotten us whatever achievement the achievement was. I think it was kill all the zombie things. If I had to guess, that's what it was. Mud Troopers. Are they called Mud Troopers? Zombie's such a better thing. Because that's basically what they are. A floaty water park.
Here I go.
I haven't been to a water park in years. It's all COVID, of course. Okay, that's the easy one. I was gonna say, can we just walk into them to kill them? And like, because we're technically got a height difference. No. I was gonna say, that's gonna be an mushroom. Doesn't this like shift? Oh, it raises the water level. Sheeps, and there it is. And I bet that usually gold mushrooms mean challenge, so... I bet I have to grab... Oh, there might be turnips up there. Or a pickaxe or something. Go. Oh, there's still one goober left. Oh, we were one away, really? I wonder if we were only one away because we left. Like, we would have gotten more if we'd stayed. Oh my gosh. Ooh, it confirmed Kirby and the Forgotten Land will have amiibo support. Maybe that was confirmed yesterday, but I hadn't seen anything about it. Let's get a life or two. The pickaxe one is so much better. Usually anyways. Yeah, I could have so done better than that. Oh, like, okay, river rafting. Yeah, like that little 3D world I got stuck at for, like, forever. Is there anything over there? Nope, it looks like it wasn't. And then I know the red bullet bills are heat seekers, so I can already tell you that's exactly what that is. Oh, look at all those coin. Oh, look at all that coin. I'm honestly surprised we don't have more lives. Like, seriously, for where we are in this game, I'm surprised. I would expect us to have, like, a bunch of lives, but no, we only have, like, I don't know, a few. Oh my gosh. This is the hard part. This is gonna be the hard part, because we have to, oh god, we gotta redo it all. Come on. You know, it's funny, I even have, like, a spotlight to help me aim. And I was just getting terrible shots there. Yeah, if I remember correctly, in the original game, when you got hit and you died, you didn't keep your stuff. You had to, like, you didn't keep your turn up, or your diamonds. You had to go and re-get them again. If I remember correctly, it's been a while, so I probably don't remember all the details. Oh, you can zigzag? What? Things are stupid easy to catch. Yeah, I think maybe if you, like, take a second from, like, breaking them, I bet it but it has, yeah, you have to restart. Huh, weird. I'm honestly surprised it didn't come after me. Besides for the bullet bills, yeah, no, that's not bad. Yeah, it's a lot of, like, levels from, like, 3D World that have been condensed into, like, smaller levels. Oh, I didn't take any damage. Yeah, that's true. Huh. Neat.
Here I go.
again, all these levels, it's a puzzle game, and all these levels are little puzzle boxes. And I think that's neat. I think the idea of puzzle box Mario game, just using all of the mechanics of 3D World, but turning it into a puzzle game, is a really good idea. Okay, so we can't get over there. How do I get down there? Oh, okay, okay, I see it. I see it. We actually have to... We have to go down. Oh, crap. I think it's faster to go back this way. Yeah, I have to get it to slope down there. Or immediately I can just fall down. There we go. That was simple. But yeah, it's all these just little puzzle boxes where you're given everything you need to know, and they just develop the mechanics a little bit more and more. It's literally 3D World, but a puzzle game, because that's how every level in 3D World works. Is you're just given all these little puzzle box. You're giving these little like puzzle box style things, where you take a mechanic, you learn it, it gets a little bit harder, and then you end on like this big like, oh hey, look at how good I've gotten at this. Oh cool, one up. Well, because it comes... Oh, who was it? It was the director of what? Breath of the Wild. Not Breath of the Wild, but yeah, oh gosh, I don't remember his name. I'm spacing it off the top of my head. But he works on, Zelda games. And he used to design, like, these, like, mechanical, like, puppets. And those became the inspiration for Zelda dungeons. Right? They're based on, like, these mechanical puppets. How do I get back there? Maybe it's down here? Is there, like, a door? Yeah. Yeah, and he used to design these, like, mechanical puppets, and then he took that design philosophy and brought it over to Zelda. And that's where Zelda dungeon design comes from, is it's based on that. And, like, that's not a joke. Like, it's seriously, it's that simple. And, yeah, then that, like, certain, like, puzzle box level design gets brought over to, Oh, okay, I see how we're supposed to do. Puzzle box level design gets brought over to Mario, and that's the inspiration for things like Galaxy and 3D. It's a different person who does it for Mario. But it's the idea that, like, I think that's actually specifically poetry design in Mario, if I remember correctly. Where, like, you start off and you're, like, you're introduced to a mechanic, then the mechanic gets more developed as time goes on, until eventually, you know, you're able to complete the level. It's something like that anyways. I don't remember all the details, but I know it's something like that, where it's like, it's puzzle boxes, and setting up a mechanic, getting reminded, the mechanic getting just a little bit harder, until you're eventually able to solve the puzzle. And that's what it's doing here. It's taking that puzzle box structure, and actually just straight up making puzzles that are literally inside boxes. Because all the levels are like cubes. Again, as always, just go look at Mark Brown. Mark Brown has a bunch of videos explaining like how like Nintendo designs levels, specifically when it comes to 3D World. And yeah, and this uses again the same mechanics because it literally is a sequel to 3D World. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk. I just got a notification, and I was like, oh, I forgot. There's supposedly a leak for the new Pokemon game, Legends Arceus. Like, some people already have early copies, which wouldn't surprise me. Again, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, the Diamond and Pearl remix leaked like a month early, so it would not at all surprise me if Legends Arceus leaked early. But there's a few images. Some of them look pretty fake, but there's one that's probably also fake, but I also think is very interesting, and I would like to talk about it. We'll talk about it tomorrow during Animal Crossing. But I meant to talk about it earlier and just completely forgot. But yeah, I just remembered that because I saw something. I was checking my notifications and there was that one about Pokemon. I don't seem to be in a race against the clock, like with the rising lava, which I think that will happen at some point. It just hasn't happened yet. Oh crap! Really? Oh, is that just for coins? I was like, do I have to take that elevator? I guess not. Where's this guy? Oh, come on. So I'll take that. That was way closer. Yeah, that was way closer. But hey, we found everything. That's nice. There we go. I'll take that. So yeah, there tends to be only 2 types of boss stages, because spoiler alert, we're gonna fight Wingo again. Don't take any damage. I was close. I remember when we saw this for the first time, and just being like, wait, what? You're like riding this dragon in the trailer? It was like so wild. can I not hit those side bumps? That's funny. Alright, here we go. Hot cogs. Has Sea of Gaming done anything recently? Okay, so we can go to this through this side. Okay, and get him. Okay, there's really no good way to get through this. I guess I'll leave it like that for now. I had to figure out how to move these ones. Oh, shit. Alright, I don't like that I've already taken a hit. That's annoying. Oh, shit. Okay, I'm gonna guess these move these ones. So we come down here, and that gets us across. We just gotta get it as it's leaving. I need a... And it's weird, because, like, you can't tell, but the controls are, yeah, completely upside down. They're weird. Not super weird, but weird. So the fact that we can get outside of these puzzle boxes, oh yeah, we could have changed the camera. It makes me think more of like the Mario Galaxy levels. Oh wait, we can just go up there. It doesn't seem like we have anything to do over there, so I guess I'll just take it. I bet it was either don't get hit or minimum number of rotations. Oh, I bet I know where the whole hidden golden mushroom was. I've got a good idea. Just based on what just happened. Oh, is this the one where you can glitch it out? Maybe this is the one I'm... No, it's not this one. There's one like this. Where you can... Or with the spike guys, where you can like glitch it out. So we're gonna work our way back up from the very bottom here. And it's even a music box. You can even see the wind-up key. Again, some of these levels are just really well designed. I know, like that, having a wind-up key means nothing at the end of the day. But I think it's neat. How did I reveal that? Oh, we gotta... Oh, I see it. Yeah, we'll get rid of him first. Spike. And then if we come down here, when it's down... Yeah, there we go. Yeah, oh, I didn't even realize that was the music box part. Like the thing that it teams off of. I didn't even realize that. I was like, why can't we see through that window? It's clearly supposed to be one. No, it's the roll. Didn't find that. Alright, let's go do another one of these.
Here I
I wonder why he gives you a mushroom to start. It's not like you keep your size change between levels. Yeah, we still didn't get that much. For some reason, I want to call it like that Dragnog. I want to call him Drauggy, but that's a Pokemon. Let's see, what's the best place to start this one? Oh, actually, I don't think it matters. Just wait for that guy to fire off. Okay, we can't undo that. Shit. So these are basically on and off switches, but they're labeled like P switches. Okay, if we come up here, if we grab this guy, and take him, and boom, there we go. I knew that was gonna work. Oh, we have to keep it down. Okay, that's weird, but okay, whatever. Ah, it was too early. Whatever, I'm sure it's fine. You know, the achievement's probably actually that, not get hit. Or it's, only press the button so many times. Yeah. Clear pipe puzzle. So is this... So because we had to unlock it with crystals, and I was not paying attention to how many, because I knew we had enough. Let me think. Oh my gosh, we were so close. No. Oh god. Oh no. Ah, shit. Okay, so if we come over here first. Where is... Okay, that's at the end. And then hopefully we shouldn't... Yeah, we're far enough away. And then if we... Oh, if we go down right there. I always forget that down is there. Okay, how do I get out? Oh, it's back there? I think it's back there. Oh, shit. Yeah, we come back here and go back. Oh, come on! Come on, come on. I guarantee you this is the thing. We shouldn't have grabbed that mushroom. Because we're not gonna get this. Yeah, we shouldn't have grabbed that mushroom. Okay, oh my god, no, no, no! Come on, come on. There we go. That was stressful.
Yeah.
70 coins. I figured it was gonna be something like that. So I'm glad we went back and got those last, like, 4, because I know we were close. Oh, we can run. Okay. So we're just relaxing here in the forest. Under the rainbow. Over the rainbow road.
Oh,
Ooh, that sounds... That sounds fun. Okay, give me a second. I've been getting so many emails. Oh god, the Winter Olympics are next month? What? Yeah, Winter Olympics in Beijing. Oh my gosh. I did not realize that. It's just because we just had an Olympics that literally nobody gave a shit about. Because they could have been great, but the pandemic just ruined the Olympics. So nobody cared anymore. Ugh, my luck. Yeah, no, like, again, I think the Olympics are fine. I don't know, I feel like they've kind of, in some ways, become, like, parodies of themselves. I know that sounds weird, but... yeah. Come back for that. Okay, what am I supposed to do with that key? How do I... oh, you know what? Oh, I knew that. Okay. I should have known that wasn't gonna work. I bet I can throw the key from right here. From right where my cursor is. Up there. Yeah, good. I figured I could. And yeah, here we go. And this is going to be an inversion pipe. I can just tell based on the color. Oh. Would have been funny if all three of them were the diamonds. Okay, now we gotta get between these two at the right time. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. So there's our achievement, probably, anyways. Is there enough room for me to squeak by right here? Yes, there is, but the real achievement's over here. Come on, come on. Oh, yeah, barely enough time. And there we go.
Oh, yeah!
Find the hidden golden mushroom. Yep. Those are some of the last few levels. Oh, okay. I was wondering who this was. Okay, we're gonna need a key. We got a double cherry right off the bat. And that separates us. Oh, I was gonna say, if this is the key... Oh my gosh, I made a mistake. Okay, I need to get in that, but I also need to get Toadette up here. Because then I guarantee... Are we gonna have to fight Kamek? I swear at some point in one of these levels, we fight Kamek. That's clearly... Oh, I was convinced this was gonna be the key. Okay, we can't actually get rid of that. We have to throw that back. Oh. Here we go. I'm gonna take this back down. And there we go. I wonder what happens if we just go straight up here. Okay, we can't just walk in there. I was like, I didn't know if, like, we could walk in there or if there was something else I was missing. Because it kind of looks like it's got a raised lip. No, we can just go through here and get it.
Oh, yeah!
So what happens to the consciousness of the fake Toadette? Is it conscious, or does it just, like, get destroyed? I have no idea where that was. Yeah, does the consciousness of the other Toadette just get destroyed? I mean, it would make sense, but that's terrible. Okay, that's got a thing in it. I gotta find the other way. second one. Oh, okay. And then we can go up here. I should do this time. Okay, there's one. Is it this one? Yeah, okay, so that gets us down here. How do I get to that one? Oh, okay, I get it now. We have to do this. Actually, since we can come down here, let's grab this first. And there we go. Okay, for a moment I was like, wait, what? Again, I think part of why I'm doing so well, like, I don't think we've stumbled. I mean, we've missed stuff, sure. But, God, and we missed that. But I think the reason why I haven't stumbled so far is because I've played this before. I kind of remember where everything is. A little, more or less, you know. These are going to be a nightmare, these bullet bills. And I hit it before I actually got hit. Okay. Fudge. Okay, oh, dummy. Oh. Okay, I think I know how to deal with this. We know those have nothing in them. I don't like taking a hit, but I'll do it. It gives us the thing. Yeah, I swear in the original, you don't get to keep the gems. Like, once they're gone, they're gone. There was nothing there. I guess we can... I guess, actually... I know there's one here for sure, so let's grab it. I think we gotta go for this one. Now we can rotate this, and that gets us the star. had to guess. Now we go back here. Good. Oh wait, no, I gotta mess with that. And there we go. I know we skipped that one, but whatever.
Oh, yeah!
Again, I'm not actually feeling like too picky about any of this. Oh, and I guess we didn't take any damage on that last run? Okay. Ew. I guess. Ooh, what's that? I don't remember what that is. A mummy? A mummy maze. So it's a coin thing, but there's a mummy here. I bet it... If I had to guess, it's gonna work like Shadow Mario. Oh my gosh. We went the wrong direction in that last one, but whatever. That was actually a fair bit of coins. Yeah, I don't remember that at all, but it's a fair bit of coin. So we're here at Operation Rescue Toad. Battle Blitz Tower 75. I do worry we're gonna have to go back and get all of these, because like I know in 3D World there is bonus stuff for doing everything. So we might have to go back and get it all. Gosh. Oh my gosh. Are they getting killed here? Oh, and this will take us up to the top. And I noticed that secret too late. God, we're so screwed. 'Cause, like, oh my gosh, that was already bad. We've already taken a hit. And there's probably going to be 3 more challenges. Yeah, here's Kamek. Oh, they crisscross. Yeah, that was easy. Oh, hey, Toads. Hey, Smart Toad. Yeah, I knew you'd have something for me. Smart Toad always has your back. I always forget Captain Toad actually shows up in Mario Galaxy. That's something I always forget. Like, I think that's his first appearance. I don't think he's in Sunshine. Yeah, Captain Toad shows up in Galaxy. But he is, I mean, him and Toadsworth are like the two most marketable Toads. Even though we don't actually, I don't think we've seen Toadsworth since... oh god, when was the last time we saw Toadsworth? Like, seriously. Oh god. Okay, let's get out of here. Guys, but yeah, I always forget Toadsworth hasn't been in anything since I think Sunshine. Like even in places it'd be obvious to put a Toad, they just don't. Which is really surprising, but also totally good. Break all these things. So we have to kill all the enemies. Okay, that... oh, we already got that one. Okay. I was gonna say that should allow us the path to get that last one. Oh. I'm amazed we did that on I think, second try? Maybe third try. I know we're still teeny tiny, but like, that could have gone so much worse. No, Toadette! Are we going to... I don't think we go into boss fight. Oh, he tries. He tried to be a Loogie. But he failed. Oh, and see, this one actually ends with to be continued. God, that's a lot of coins. So that's episode 3. I actually never... You know, they have the VR mode. I never actually bought Nintendo Labo. I have... And plus, I switched OLED, but... I don't think they sell it anymore. That would have been cool to... That would have been interesting to try. I feel that has potential. Nintendo Labo. But no. Alright. See, at least this one's a different start. Feels very empty, but... Wait, what's that? Oh my gosh, their work actually got published. Oh, that's neat. Huh. I remember when they first started. Now they're actually published. That's good for them. That's actually the second person, I think, this year who I've been, like, following their work forever now. And they got published. That's really cool. It's really cool. I think I remember them kind of mentioning that. Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, we're saving Toadette again. And I think this is the last... I know there's some bonus stuff, but I think this is the last chapter. I mean, I think there's like a bunch of... Oh yeah, this. So you can hold this... You can hold the wheel and just walk to the end. That was in the Wii U version. I don't... Again, I'm thinking of a... There's a different level where you can glitch it out by like... By like shifting between... Like you can move platforms back and forth. And if you get between two platforms, you can, oh gosh. You can do what, you want. You can, like, do it. But I don't remember which level that is. was something down there. That leads us to that diamond. Oh, I guess we don't have to do anything on that one? That's strange, but okay, whatever. How... Oh, I gotta go back there. Wait for this guy to go through. And boom, there's... Oh, we missed that one up there. I didn't even... I knew about this one down here. So I was like, oh, okay, that must be it. Whatever, I don't care. If we have to run back through and get everything, we can, but... I don't care. And we didn't get 60 coins either. We were... If we had gotten that top thing, we would have gotten them all. Okay, this one is all about sick flips. Simple flips. Shout out to simple flips. Oh, we have to... Now, I think if I'm correct, we can hold these platforms. No, maybe I'm thinking of a different thing. I know there is like a platform you can hold or something. Okay, there's that one. There's that one. Now, I can see, like, in case you screw up or you gotta go back down, that's why the ladder's there, so that way you can get yourself back up. I bet... Oh, gosh, if I had to guess, I wonder if there's one for not killing any of them. Yeah. That just seemed kind of obvious. Oh, I can't go over there yet. Okay, and then we go here. I would want this is here. Okay, I want to wait for a fresh cycle. Okay, we actually can wait on the ladders, I realize. So we can wait on the ladder for the next cycle, and then we can go up. And we gotta get over here. Oh! We have to throw the turnips into that one. That's what we were supposed to do. Okay, that makes sense. Where did I miss one, though? Oh, I wasn't fast enough. Okay. Okay, I know how to get that one anyways. Did I go over there? Did I grab that? I didn't even see the one in there. I swear I grabbed that. Maybe I didn't. Either, maybe it's in that thing, but grab that? I don't remember. Oh, that's just a mushroom. And there we go. That actually wasn't too bad. Those blocks, like, especially when they're going so fast in later levels of 3D World, those blocks are the worst. Yeah, I'm sure there's something for getting all the diamonds, and I'm sure there's going to be, like, bonus levels or whatnot. But we haven't gotten there yet, so we'll get there when we get there. So I keep expecting something. Okay, so there's these mud buddies. Which, like, it seems to slow them down, but it doesn't kill them. Hey, Map Toad. Oh my god. Will this just kill it? Okay, it will. I thought it might, but I wasn't entirely sure. It doesn't kill it, it just stuns it. Oh, we gotta be fast enough to get down there. Unless he's just gonna get us. And I bet I know what the first one. The first one's at the very beginning of the level, where instead of going into the that top part we went to, if you go into the water, I bet it's in there. Again, I don't actually care. Unless, like, the game requires it, I'm not gonna go and get all the diamonds. Yeah, and you can do it without it. I figured you could. So yeah, we were playing as Captain Toad. Then presumably we're gonna get dropped here. Because now we're playing as Toadette. Yeah, so we switch back and forth. Ooh. Oh, great. So that rotates it. Oh, come on, fast, fast. I was gonna say, I see something, I see a ladder right there. Oh, good. I'm glad we went down. I was gonna say, because there's a ladder, but that just leads right back there. Oh, for a second there, I was like, are we too low? What?
Oh, yeah!
Did we find that? No, we didn't. I was like... Even more coins. Okay, let's do the pickaxe one first. I think this one's all about. Oh, boom, look at that. We even got to the bottom. Because, yeah, I think it's random every time, like, where the holes are, so you gotta find them. Bitty Bud's Snow Stroll. I know there's another train at some point. I want to say it even takes place in the snow. Oh, shit. I was gonna say, I think we could do something with those posters. Because I kept seeing them, and I figured there was something there. And we died. Okay, so we're following these guys. No. We just gotta follow wherever the Bitty Buds go. However, we're going to have to break from this at least once. Because we gotta get this. Okay, I bet... No. Okay, let's see, where do these things go? So they go this way... I gotta figure out how to get on top of that. I bet it's through this one. And then over here. And I think that takes us to the end. Because it goes around... into that hole, which is the exact one we need. I guess we can just go right there. We could go back, but nah, we don't need to.
Oh, yeah!
Didn't break any tiles. No, we broke a ton. I mean, we have to break to get some of the things, but yeah. Oh, I remember this one. It's like a cage thing. Oh, I thought I was holding it. Okay, we gotta move that. And we did. Alright, let's see. What is this door? And this will raise these guys up. And we can use them. Oh, that's just a 10 coin. Because I had to do that. It doesn't rotate far enough, so I gotta... And then I think we can come out anywhere in here, but it seems obvious. I bet there's a golden mushroom hidden right there. Just because that seems too easy. Yeah, exactly. That seemed too easy.
Here I go!
Okay, we gotta go this one. Oh wow, that actually worked. Okay, that takes us over here. Which I can't actually use it in there. Lowers it. That raises it. Okay, so it flips it, but it only changes the previous one. It doesn't actually matter which one is the previous one. Oh shit. We needed him. That guy we just killed, we had to throw him at that one. I didn't realize until I had already thrown him.
Oh, yeah!
Use switches 8 times, yeah. Okay, here's a minecart. Another minecart.
Here I go!
Zombies don't actually matter to me. Muddy buddies. Come on, you darlings. Again, it seems too obvious that it drove us back past there. Or the fact that we haven't found any one of these things yet. We should have. Ugh. I know we still can freeze them, but still. That doesn't actually kill them, that just melts them in bullets. Yeah, it's weird we haven't found anything yet. Come on, I know it's right there. Oh wow, that is the first one. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's so weird that the first one is so late on. Oh. It's right there. No, it's not. Okay, it's gotta be back here. No, what? Gosh dang it. I have no idea. I have no idea where that last one was.
Yeah.
And we were too slow to get the one up. I'm surprised it wasn't kill all the enemies. Because it kept throwing us past them. So yeah, it looks like we're both trying to find each other. And there Wingo goes with the star. But we're in Mushroom Land, and not Mushroom Kingdom, Mushroom Land. It's more like the Mushroom World from Sonic. I was thinking about watching the Sonic movie again. Because I know they mentioned Mushroom Planet. I don't know, and I've been meaning to watch Detective Pikachu again. Let's kill this guy. Okay, that takes care of that. Okay, let's meet them all up back here, because I have no idea how to get them all up those stairs at the moment. Okay, we got 3. I guess the easiest path is probably to go down. Let's see, do we hit that wall or are we screwed? Okay, that gives us the 4 we need to get that 4 door down there. There's our 4 toads. Oh, that takes us up here. So clearly there are multiple ways to do this, because there's that double cherry we never got. Whatever. I bet it's the thing was over there. That one block we didn't grab down there with that double cherry. I bet it was down there. Yeah, with 5 toads, yeah. Ooh, flip panels. Flip panels are cool. They're a neat idea. Okay, the carpet feels like something that can move, but I guess not. Okay, we gotta go fast. It's catching up. Nah, we're fine. Oh, we got 42. I wonder where you missed some. Okay, let's do the double cherry one. Oh, okay, this one doesn't seem good. Yeah, no, that one wasn't terrible. That got us a lot of coins. 3 lives. I don't know if coins are used for anything else other than lives. Again, I feel like I should have... Like, in a normal Mario game, I would have, like, way more by this point. Okay, we got goobers. We got bullets. Alright, let's see. Alright, let's see. What does this rotate? That, I guess? Okay, that's interesting. Oh, it's a cannon! That's completely random. But I think I get it. Bet. And you know what's surprising me? This doesn't have motion controls. Out of all the things, this is the one thing that doesn't have motion controls. That I find interesting. So if I raise that up, is there no way to get to that? But we cleared enough of the path for us to get over here. Which one? It doesn't get us this. Oh my god. Oh my god, we're trapped. We're trapped. Come on. Nope, we were dead. Yeah, no, I got cornered by those goopers. Okay, so we gotta lower this cannon. But why would we have... Unless it... the only reason I would raise it again is if I have to raise something else. And even though we can see that through that tower, we can't actually hit that. Yeah, because if you see, it's way actually past that tower. So we can't actually hit that. But this one... oh, there's a ladder. Okay. I have no idea how to get that last one. It feels like I need to raise the tower up, but I can't raise the tower up to get that last one. That last one's weird. 10 shots, yeah, I could see that. Secrets of the Golden... Oh, it's Golden Dragon. Dragnog? Whatever, it's the golden version. Okay. I was like, I'm starting at a terrible point. Looks like there's a bunch of coins, so I bet this is a coin. Oh my god. Started off with a hit, which is terrible. No, we needed to take that earlier. Alright, let's start here. Oh my god, I didn't realize I made it. And then we come over here, we grab all these. Oh, I didn't realize how late it was. I'm trying to hit that back one. Okay, now we can take this. Oh. Barely made it. How do I get down? Oh. How do I get down there? I know there's a way. Okay, well, let's keep going up. Okay, there's a 1-up. I'm looking for... But I bet this is. Oh, okay. To attack. Stars over there. Oh. Okay, we're cutting this way close. Okay, don't get hit by that. And let's go. Up in Abdom. And there we go. Captain Toad. Oh, we can actually... Oh, that's neat. Yeah, God, I didn't realize it was already so late. Cleared in 10 touches yet, no way. We're at... Okay, so, I think... let me think here, let me think. Because, like, that's a decent place to end it. And we've still got all these levels. And I know there's more after that. How long have we been going? Yeah, we've been going for, like, 4 hours. Oh, we got another train one. Oh, and a pinball one? I don't remember that, but okay, that's cool. Yeah. Because I know after this book... There's one more book, spoiler alert. There's and I'm not talking about the Labo one. There is, I think, one more book after this. I think so. If not, you know what, if there isn't another book, but I'm pretty sure, I'm like 9. There's like a bunch of remixed levels. Where you like, you can't take a hit, or like the mummy toads are chasing you. Or something like that. Guys, was this game originally 2014? For some reason, it's way... Like, that's like 2 years into the Wii U's lifespan. I mean, yes, the Wii U dies in 2017, but still. Oh, look at this. Oh, that's cool. Oh, I didn't... That's neat. Huh, neat. Oh, I can't see it from above. I was wondering if it's going to be something from above. Yeah, that's cool. Again, 3DS. Because 3D Land. But yeah, I think tomorrow... Tomorrow we will, what does this do? Oh, it's another perspective thing. Oh, it's Sleepy Toad. Bonk, bonk. We got it here. Yeah, but they're all, like... Yeah, those are cool. I've seen those before. Those are neat. But yeah, I think that's where we're going to end off with Captain Toad today. We have it for another, like I said, 6 days. Plus a few hours, so yeah. And it's actually, I mean, 7 plus a few hours. So we'll continue on tomorrow with more, we'll do some more Animal Crossing, then we'll come back and do more Captain Toad. Because, fuck yeah, Captain Toad. I'm enjoying it. It's a good puzzle game. I know I'm just, like, sitting here and trying to solve the puzzles. But yeah, no, it's a really good puzzle game. I've done it before. I know the DK level's coming up, and that one's pretty cool as well. But yeah, it's a really fun little game. It's a good... Again, if you have Nintendo Switch Online, or, you know, you pay like the $2 to get a month of it, you can play the game right now for yourself. Really good, really worth it. Yeah, we'll do some more tomorrow. But that's where I'm going to end off for today. Yeah, 4 hours is good. I hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. Until next time, peace.